away Green Bay is going to be this week as they head to Buffalo. What's going on, folks? My name is JP, and you're listening to the 1265, the 1265, a podcast 100% focused on the Green Bay Packers. As usual, we're brought to you by allwisconsinathletics.com. All Wisconsin, all athletics, all the time. Joined by my left-hand man, Arrick. Arrick, how's it going, man?
I'm doing all right. Getting ready for what should be a pretty good football game tonight. Finally, on Thursday Night Football.
Yeah.
Finally have one good game there. Means a lot. Actually, it does mean quite a bit for the Packers. If the Cardinals lose, Packers win. Packers become the number one seed. I know we got 3 weeks to go, but
Yeah.
means something.
I'm definitely rooting for St. Louis tonight. It'd be nice to see them pull it off. And that's a team that has gone back the past 2 weeks and back-to-back shutouts, which hasn't happened in a very, very, very long time.
And Denver to 7 a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, so this is a team that if they would have been playing like this a little earlier in the year, this is a team also that I look at and I'm just like, man, imagine if Sam Bradford was as good as he was supposed to be out of college and they didn't have, Sean Hill?
Sean Hill and
If they didn't
Davis
have that little mess, I mean, the Rams could have been a really good team, to be honest with you.
Yeah, and good defense in St. Louis.
Yeah, but we just got done with Packers Falcons. That game, it halftime, I'm sure a lot of people turned it off and turned on wrestling or whatever else was on Monday night. But for those who watched, it was almost a little scary because you had Julio Jones doing his thing, That was a little crazy. Green Bay, they came out, what was the score at half, 31-7 or something like that?
31-7, yep.
And then all of a sudden Atlanta came out. Now, I don't know if it's Green Bay was playing down on Atlanta's level or if they were on cruise control or if Atlanta just was that good and made that well of halftime adjustments,
Yeah, well, we've seen it. I hate to pick on Mike McCarthy, but we've seen it ever since he's been here. They just don't seem to put their foot on the gas, I guess you could say, and just kind of keep going. And, anytime they have a second half lead, we see this is what happens. It seems like happened.
Yeah, but we've had a lot of games this year, though, where we did keep the gas. We kept the foot on the gas, and we blew out teams, You had Chicago and Minnesota and even Philly. We didn't let them come back. Nobody really came back. Philly got garbage points on us, man.
Well, and that,
These weren't garbage points. These were, we're coming back and we're going to try to win points. Yeah. So thankfully it didn't work. Green Bay came out on top. Julio Jones had 200 and some yards and almost 2 touchdowns. He was having a game. Matt Ryan had a great game against Green Bay's D. You got to think Sam Shields wasn't 100% for that one, like you said the other night. You got Devon House who came in. He stepped up to play very well.
Yeah, but now he is in jeopardy of Devon House has a shoulder injury.
Yeah, and we'll get to that in a little bit here.
That
is the extent of Devon House's injury. But Green Bay's offense in the first half, what do you think was the difference between Green Bay's offense in the first and second half? Because we all know Atlanta's defense is not that good. And they showed that in the first half, but the second half, that defense came out on top.
I don't know. There's something about... And this goes back to what we just said. I don't know. They need to... They can't let teams back in games like this. I know that's not the offense's fault. But, they could make it a little bit easier for the defense and not put us in this situation. So, it goes both ways there. But, I don't know. If I had to think of what the difference was, maybe... I don't know. Maybe Atlanta's below-average defense finally decided to step up. I don't know. That's the only thing I can really...
Yeah, maybe.
But...
It was just really odd because, you're going against the worst pass defense in the NFL right now. And then Rodgers, even in the second half, was like, well, what's up? My favorite part was after the game where Rodgers said, about the belt.
Yeah.
He goes, I just wanted to let people know that they could do that celebration without hurting themselves.
In a way, that's kind of something we could have done without, because now it's only going to give Detroit a little bit more.
Then let them. Really. You know what I mean? We're still the Packers. They still got I'm not worried. You need the little hoorah-rah and all that crap. You know what I mean? Somebody's got to do it.
Yeah, I suppose, but...
The fans are generating enough. That's the thing that's irritating, too, is the Packers still won. The Packers got 10 wins, and there's still people like, our defense is terrible. Shut up and watch the game week from week.
Tuesday morning, I was listening to a local radio sports broadcast here in Green Bay, and you would have thought we lost the game.
Yeah.
You would have thought we lost the game.
It's insane, man.
I guess that's a good problem to have, though. I mean...
When you complain about winning?
Yeah. I mean, could not be able to do that if you know...
You know, as spoiled as we've been as Packer fans, in the last 20 years, in my whole lifetime as a Packer fan, I've only experienced 4 losing seasons.
Yep.
And those losing seasons... They did feel like, oh man, the world's ending. But imagine if you're a Jags
and 2
fan.
quarterbacks. That's
2 quarterbacks. I've only known 2 quarterbacks and garbage time Matt Flynn.
Yeah,
but,
I don't count that one.
But you know what I mean? It's like those seasons were hard, and I just think I don't know. It's just
Jaguars
Packers fans are so used to winning that. Even when we do win and it's not by enough, by the margin that they want, they're still going to complain. Mm-hmm. Well, you didn't beat them by 60.
Right.
Well, dude, you know what I mean?
A lot of people don't understand. This is the NFL. These guys are professionals for a reason.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to go out there and lay down for you. And
that would be like these people that are complaining. I want to ask them, do you go into your job and are you done by noon with all your work and you sit for the last 5 hours and you clock out? Yeah, you're employee of the month every week.
Month,
and you know, do you know what I'm saying? Is your company the best in the world and all this? Like, it's just, I mean, the only guy who can make that argument would be Bill Gates.
Yeah.
But Packers Falcons was a great game. It was fun to watch. I wasn't nervous that the Packers were going to lose. I was nervous that, like, dude, what's going on? I was hoping that this wasn't, like, the defense being bad, but...
It's been... I just, throughout the game, I was thinking to myself, how lucky are we, though? Rodgers, Nelson, Rodgers, Cobb.
Yeah.
Packer fans have a lot to be thankful for. And
Randall Cobb, going up the middle, took a shot, and he got up perfectly fine. I was like,
not many guys want to go up the middle, that's for sure.
No, and he's not a big dude.
You're right.
You got this little Randall Cobb going up there, he gets thwacked by 2 guys, he stands up, the other guy's on the ground. Like, okay. Rodgers got a little, he wasn't hurt, but he got that little stinger in there. I was a little worried when he ran into his own man, or his man ran into him.
Mm-hmm.
Lacey, he was doing very well, but I think, to be honest with you, my player of the game is James Starks. He kept so many drives alive.
Andrew Corliss had a couple of big plays. He's finally, maybe he's the guy who's going to take that tight end position, finally, in week 13.
I still don't think you settle on Corliss. I think next year is going to be an overhaul at the tight end position. I mean, you keep Corliss, I guess, because he's the veteran.
Bostic was supposed to have so much potential.
He's gone. He's good as gone.
Just cannot stay on the field.
No.
Unfortunate. I mean, great guy. I like watching him play. He's got great size. But yeah.
Richard Rodgers has showed flashes of potential, so I mean, there's that argument you can make.
And he was a 3rd round pick. They're not going to give up on him right away.
Yeah, no, they're not going to give up on him, but I mean, he'll still be there. I think we go into the offseason with the tight end set like Corliss and Rodgers. And I think you address that in the draft somewhere or free agency. Probably not free agency unless you get Mr. Tom Crabtree back, which would be pretty cool. But yeah, so the defense, a lot of talk about this Atlanta game where it goes back to the whole A.J. Hawk thing, but I mean, Sam Barrington held his own.
That's the thing. On Aaron Rodgers' radio show on Tuesday, he did say A.J. Hawk's been playing injured all year.
Yeah, he let the rabbit out of the hat. Rodgers, what are you doing?
So, I mean, that kind of... I don't like that whole situation. I'm not, like, a veteran player like A.J. Hawk was been your most consistent guy for 8 years in a row.
Yeah.
I don't think... I don't like how they're handling that situation, but that's why I'm not an NFL coach. So
I still think Hawk has a job at the end of the day. People are exaggerating. Again, the Packer fan base is freaking out.
Yeah.
But the thing that's really weird is when AJ Hawk's in the game, he's the GOAT. Everybody, well, AJ Hawk, he blows tackles. He sucks. AJ Hawk's missing time. It's like, whoa, Packers better not get rid of him. That's stupid. Well, what do you want? What do you want?
That's one of those situations that I try to stay away from.
Yeah, the fan base it's the most loyal, but also the most lethal. Like, my gosh.
Yep.
And we talk about that all the time off air. It's like, what? We'll read something and just look at each other like, dude, what is going on here?
Some of it does make for a good laugh every now and then. But.
Yeah, a good chuckle, but at the same time, you're just like, oh my God.
Yeah.
But in the end, you had a little scare. Packers still came out on top.
Got that 10th win. Coach McCarthy has always said that 10 wins is that's when you start to talk about playoffs. And
and we mentioned a little bit about injuries and again, it's been a good year for Green Bay in the fact that we haven't seen many injuries and stuff like that happen. But I guess you got a little bit of what happened after Atlanta. So what's going on with going into Buffalo?
Well, for the Packers today, a couple guys missing practice. Jamari Lattimore, I wouldn't be surprised if he's done for the year. Josh Sitton did not practice. That's pretty much precautionary. Just don't want to do more work than he asked on that toe injury. And then Devon House, like I said, with that shoulder injury, he missed practice, so it's a question with him. Lacey was limited, but I'm not hearing anything good about Lacey on Sunday, so...
No?
Yeah.
So he might not go.
Yeah, that's possible. They'll find out more tomorrow.
I need him for fantasy football.
Yeah. And then the new defensive lineman they signed from Arizona's practice squad, Bruce Gaston, did not practice.
Great pickup.
I guess he was sick. Illness was the official word.
Yeah. So that's all you got for injuries for us?
And then for the Bills, they had one player not practice, and it's their third tight end. So pretty healthy the Bills are going into Sunday's game.
Yeah, and talking about the Bills, you think Sammy Watkins has the same impact that a guy like Julio Jones had?
Probably.
You think so?
Same kind of guy. I'm pretty sure he'll have a good game. They also have Robert Woods, young wide receiver, so... The Bills their passing offense isn't the greatest, but I guess we'll see. I don't know if you'll definitely force Kyle Orton to beat you. That's not the worst problem to have.
Exactly. But you got Green Bay coming in, and apparently they have never won in Buffalo before?
Nope. They've only played there 5 times, though, as I have been told about 100 times since I posted that.
That's weird.
So yeah, it's an uncommon opponent. Anytime that happens, we saw it with who did we just play as an uncommon? The Patriots.
Very uncommon opponent. Yeah.
So Miami earlier this year. So yeah, it'll happen. It's something. It's not easy to prepare for an uncommon opponent, obviously. So both teams are going in fairly healthy. Biggest thing with the Packers will be House, and even Sam Shields isn't 100% after a concussion. So.
Hopefully he's had that extra week to just, relax and get his mind right.
Yeah.
And hopefully go against, be ready for Buffalo. And this is a team who scares you on Buffalo? I mean, both their running backs are out, aren't they? Or is Fred Jackson good?
I think he's good to go.
Isn't Spiller done for the year too?
Yeah, Spiller. Yep. So it'll be.
I don't know.
But Sammy Watkins and Robert Woods. I think those are two pretty underrated. Unrated duo at wide receiver, so...
I gotta say this, though. Out of all the remaining games in the schedule, including Detroit at Green Bay, this one is the one that I'm like, eh?
Yeah, this is... when the schedule first came out, this was one of them that I thought, it's... I won't go further into anything. I was gonna say Tampa Bay was the other game. Yeah. Still, I think that...
I don't think... the Packers aren't that good in Florida, but... I just think... I don't know. That Bills defense is really good.
Yeah.
They're good in turnovers and all that.
I heard, and they're inside. They have a defensive tackle. I believe it is Marcel Darius, who has, keep in mind, a defensive tackle. He has 9.5 sacks.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Packers' leader in sacks is Matthews with 5.5 at linebacker.
Yeah.
So that kind of, shows you their pass rush. I think they've got 4 guys with 9 or more sacks.
Oof. How's their turnover, though? Turnover ratio?
That I'm not 100% sure.
I know that defense is putting it on some teams, and they beat the brakes off of Miami a couple weeks ago on Thursday Night Football, and this is a team that is fighting for a playoff position as well.
And everybody's best friend is their defensive coordinator, Jim Schwartz.
Yeah, woohoo. That guy.
Yeah.
But, Buffalo's been a team that's been through some adversity this year. They had that big snowstorm and then had to play in Ford Field, and they won there. And it was just... It's a team that's had to go against some tough opponents, too, and they've pulled it out of some, and it's odd to see them, especially since they benched E.J. Manuel and they got Kyle Orton going now. Who would have thought Kyle Orton would be leading this team on a winning record, And
a playoff run.
Playoff run, possibly. I mean, I don't know how Miami's looking, but I know it's between Miami and Buffalo right now, isn't it? Something like that. But, the Packers at the end of the year were playing against another playoff-hungry team, another team that's fighting, scratch and clawing their way in. And it's not going to be easy.
No,
Tampa Bay's not going to be easy. None of these games from here on out are going to be easy. You got to be in playoff mode at Week 14 in the NFL.
Right.
And it's just the truth of where the NFL stands now.
Right.
There's so much competition.
Yep.
So, and then you got the scenarios coming up where it's like, well, if Green Bay wins and Dallas loses, Green Bay clinches a berth. So now you're getting these playoff scenarios coming in, and those are always fun to watch. And I remember one last year. It was like, if this team went... This one team, I forget what team it was, but they
Baltimore, wasn't it?
They needed like 3 teams to lose, 1 team to win, and then they needed to win, and then another team to lose. It was like, what?
I don't know who figures this stuff out.
No, I have no idea. But it's crazy, because like 10 teams can decide your team's future.
Best thing to do, though, is win.
But there's some teams that do win, and they don't make it, But... It'll be interesting. Bills Packers. I got a lot of excitement headed towards that one.
It'll be a fun day.
Yeah, that'll be a fun one. So it's prediction time. Where do you see this game going?
Well, I think the Packers will get the win. Usually the better team wins the game. Packers are the better team, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to say the Packers win. Again, tough defense. Eddie Lacy's not 100%. Who knows if he'll even play. I'm going to say the Packers are going to only score about 17 points.
Yeah, that's realistic.
But, with the Bills' offense that isn't the greatest, I think they'll probably hold... It'll be a close game. I think 17-13. Packers will pull it off.
Okay, so 17-13 Green Bay you got at Ralph Wilson Stadium. I think my pick, I'm gonna go with Buffalo. Oof. Yeah, hate me, Packer Nation, hate me, but I think you're gonna get this loss out of the way. It's gonna feel really good. I mean, it's not gonna be good, but it's gonna feel really good to just get that out of the way and then just focus on what you got to do. But I do think Buffalo gets the best of them at Ralph Wilson, and I'm gonna go with 24-21 Buffalo. I think early on our offense gets a little stagnant. I see a lot of 3-and-outs coming in this game, and Mass Day, get ready, get your game pants on, boy.
Yeah. So gotten quite a bit of rest over the last few weeks. Now it's time.
Yeah, exactly. So that's all we got for you this week, guys. Again, we're brought to you by All Wisconsin Athletics. You could follow all of us. You could follow Eric at Eric Upton on Twitter, at Mr. Paradise 24, at All Wisco ATH as an athlete. Also, don't forget to check us out on Facebook at Eric's Packer Report. Nope, I'm kidding. I'm a liar. At the 1265 Report. That's where you can find us. We're always giving stuff away and getting really interactive with you guys, and we enjoy the back and forth stuff.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So, instead of just listening to us talk all the time like you do on the weekly podcast, you can do some interaction here. So, you guys have a great weekend and enjoy Buffalo Green Bay. And even though I picked Buffalo to win, I'm gonna say go Pack. I hope I'm wrong. I hope Packers pull it out, but this is the bump. This is the last speed bump. So
right.
Have a good one, guys.